Welcome all to week 10 tutorial, ratio analysis. We learned three types of ratios in this topic: profitability ratios, liquidity ratios, financial stability ratios. Profitability ratios. Profitability ratios are used to measure the operating success of an entity and to forecast future profitability. Following ratios can be used to evaluate an entity's profitability. Return on assets measures the profitability of assets employed by the business. Rate of return on ordinary equity measures the return for each dollar invested by shareholders. Profit margin measures profit made from each dollar of service revenue. Liquidity ratios. Liquidity ratios measure the ability of an entity to pay its short-term debt. Current ratio is one of the liquidity ratios, which measures whether an entity has sufficient current assets to cover its current liabilities. Rule of thumb guide for current ratio is 1.5 to 1. Quick ratio, which provides a more rigorous measurement of an entity's liquidity. Rule of thumb guide for quick ratio is 0.9 to 1. Receivables turnover. This ratio measures on average how many times the business collects all its receivables during the period. Average collection period. On average, how many days it takes the business to collect its receivables. This measures the efficiency of an entity's debt collection policies. Rule of thumb guide for average collection period is 30 days. Inventory turnover measures the number of times the business sells all of its inventory during the period. Average days for inventory turnover. On average, how many days it takes the business to sell inventory. Let's move on to financial stability ratios. Financial stability or solvency ratios measure the ability of an entity to sustain its long-term operations. Equity ratio is one of the financial stability ratios. This ratio measures what percentage of an entity's assets were financed using equity. Debt ratio. This ratio measures what percentage of entity's assets were financed using debt. Times interest earned. This ratio measures how many times the entity's profit can cover its interest expense. Rule of thumb guide for times interest earned is 3 to 4 times. Steps in financial ratio analysis. The first step is to compute or calculate ratios. Second step is to compare ratios. Now, comparisons could be made across different time periods and also across different entities. Third step is to analyze ratios. And the fourth step is to interpret ratios. What are some of the limitations of ratio analysis? One of the limitations is financial analysis is performed on historical data. And the second limitation is historical cost is used as a measurement base. Third limitation is year-end calculations may not be representative of the business's position during the period. Fourth limitation is lack of disclosure in general purpose financial reports. And the fourth limitation is that entities may not be comparable due to size differences and adoption of different accounting policies. Now, next week's tutorial, which is an online tutorial, is based on a tutorial worksheet and tutorial quizzes. So you'll have access to 10 quizzes where you get unlimited attempts and you must complete all these questions. You also have to download the tutorial worksheet from iLearn, complete it, and then upload to tutorial submission box. I hope my instructions were clear and wish you all Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. See you all next year.